One last night, but they dropped 2 or 3 to the Mets in this crappy now National League Central Division. They're still in the basement, even though everybody else is falling apart. Which brings us to Andrew McCutchen, because he's part of the problem now. This week we saw him dropped, Will, to 6th in the batting order, trying to change his luck a little bit. At what point, because there is going to be a point where he's no longer with Pittsburgh, when will that happen, and have the Pirates adjusted what they need in return, knowing that McCutchen still hasn't gotten back to where he once was?
Well, I think that there is a price in Neil Huntington's head that needs to be met. It could not be met in December. I think the price is continuing to go down, but you know, if he's batting .215 July 15th, I mean, what do you expect to get in return? You know, you're looking like a dump situation like they did with Liriano last year. You're going to throw in Austin Meadows and McCutchen to get rid of to get rid of him. I mean, it sounds crazy to even think that that's a possibility, but I mean, it really is. I don't know when he's going to move. I think the team would want something in return, but I could also see if they don't get what they think they deserve, that they hold on to him.
Yeah, it is kind of funny, isn't it, that the Washington Nationals, instead of getting McCutchen, went out and got Adam Eaton, who almost immediately got injured. And I'm sure in the front office of the Washington Nationals right now, they're going, whoo! Thank goodness we didn't give up anything for that guy. And, you know, I think the suggestion that the Pirates had to make a move like that this past offseason from those who backed the trade idea was that you got to get something in return for him. Now, what are you going to get? You're not going to get much of anything. And if you do get something in return, it's going to be like, you know, what the Pirates got for Charlie Morton, who, by the way, was on an all-star pace for a little while there until he just went on the DL.
Got hurt again.
I think they have to really, really, really hope that Andrew McCutchen takes to this 6th spot. I don't know if he's going to bounce out of it, but like you guys are saying, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place if he can't figure this out at the plate. I do think he will. I think he will rebound enough that they can trade him for a modest return. It's not going to be ideal, but I just don't see the trajectory going down, down, down to the point where they have to basically do a fire sale or let him walk.
All right, we have about a minute real quick around the horn here. Tim, start with you. What do they do with Glasnow and Kuhl? They go out there and it's, you know, still 2 guys with a 6+ ERA, and yet they keep trotting them out. What should they do? Oh,
they should keep them. Keep trotting them out, because no one likes to flush the prospects they've talked about for 3 years faster than Pirate fans and start building up the next batch. Flush these guys. Let's talk about the guys in AAA and AA. Prop them up and come see them next year. The cycle continues.
Stephen Broad, Drew Hutchison, I mean, it's 6-1, half dozen the other. I think Glasnow has better upside. I think you got to keep him out there. Cool. I think you could at least try to find a spot where you can give him a day or two, skip a start, because it is real. Look, he hasn't won since the first week of the season. I think it's time to try to find something else there.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see them send Glasnow down. I think they're doing more harm than good at this point, trotting him out there and not allowing him to have some success.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, real quick, we got predictions for the Pens and the Preds. That's next. Don't go away. You're watching the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.